Right then, hello everyone, and welcome back to the gay COC. But hello everyone, and welcome back to the Assetto Corsa Offline Championship. We are here for the first round of the 2021 Porsche Super Cup season, which will take us to the Autodromo Internacional do Algarve in Portimao, here in the southern coast of Portugal. My name is Miran in the commentary booth today, going solo this time around, and we have got 20 minutes of qualifying action from the Porsche Super Cup just ahead of us. New field, we've got new drivers, new teams, and a few new circuits that we will be going to this year. It'll be very, very interesting to see how this 10 race season will unfold. That is 2 more races than we had last season, so expect a lot more action from the Porsche Super Cup today. We've also got a bigger field. Instead of the 18 cars, I believe it was last season, we are now fielding a whole 27 cars on the field, meaning that on the timing tower on the left will only display the top 24. Otherwise it gets a bit too cluttered. But as we're just about to get our first flying lap of the season, I will take you through the track. So the Autodromo Internacional do Algarve, also known as the Algarve International Circuit or the Portimao Circuit, located in the town of Portimao in the Algarve region of Portugal. The track was opened in 2008, making it one of the newest tracks on the Porsche Super Cup calendar, and it hosted the final round of the World Superbike Championship in November of 2008. It's hosted a few other series in the following years, namely A1 Grand Prix, Le Mans Series, and the FIA GT Championship, and also hosted a Formula 1 test session in 2008. Most famously, Formula 1 did come here in 2020 and 2021 for the Portuguese Grand Prix, and the World Endurance Championship also came here for the 6 hours of Portimao in 2021 and 2023. MotoGP has been on here since 2020, the Portuguese Motorcycle Grand Prix. Bike racing has been quite the staple around here, and then you've had a few open wheeler series here as well. But the track, which did cost 195 million to build and has been esteemed for not only its track design quality, but its medical facilities and overall safety, was opened in 2008, and the layout, which stood the test of time, is 4.653 kilometers long and features 15 turns. Now, this track is once again an absolute staple of the ACOC. It really has to be said. We've had so many races around here. We've got so much history. All the way back in 2017, for example, when you had Dennis Groff secure his first world championship with Ferrari, and you've had so many great races over the years here as well. So, this should be no different, as we're going to have the first few times on the board. Nick Tander with a 152.2, and then you had Bentley Schaefer. That's a name a few you might remember. He makes his return to the ACOC. Mikolas Chernik into 4th, and then we're looking at a few of the new guys. Damian Krastev in the all-new Kartek Motorsport with a 152.1. And then on the top of the timing sheet at the moment with a 151.882, it is Sergei Kazakov from Kyrgyzstan in the Phoenix Iron Force Racing. There is Giuseppe Stella, who did a few rounds in Super Formula last season, but now makes his full-time return in Porsche Super Cup. There's Ludwig Stefansson from Iceland, I believe becoming the first Icelandic driver in the ACOC. He is 2nd. Then we have Misko Simcevic in the other Kartek Motorsport. He will be P3 as the times are now coming in on the board. Ji-hwan Kyon is a name a few of you might remember as well. The race winner in Super Formula last season, P5. And then Nikolaus Schlöter is a guy you might remember as well, and yet another race winner in Super Formula. As there's Rubinho Gonzalez, former Porsche Super Cup race winner, into P4 in the GP Elite. The 151.985 in P9 as well is the other GP Elite. GP Elite fielding 4 teams, or 4 drivers, sorry, but under 2 different teams. There's Nick Tander going up into P9, as we have now the first few times on the board then, and it is Sergei Kazakov who is fastest at the moment with a 151.882. Ji-hwan Kyon with a 151.905 is the second, and Ludwig Stefansson will be third with a 151.953. Obviously, PSC being a spec series and we having a bunch of new drivers to the field, it really is a level playing field here in qualifying. It's an unknown proving ground for a lot of the drivers, and we'll just have to see what they'll be able to deliver. There's Cameron Cole, as going on to provisional pole is Ludwig Stefansson with a 151.823. He tops Sergei Kazakov and goes up into P1. Going up to P3 as well was Marco Rosenthal in the Fach Autotech car. So a good lap from the Austrian man as well, who had a part-time appearance in Super Formula. There up at the P14, Håkan Sorenström in the Uniserver Team GP Elite car. He'll be P14. As there we look at Nikolaus Schlöter up into third. He's going to be down to fourth. Was Rubinho Gonzalez, the man making the switch from Dynamic Motorsports to GP Elite. Up into second, he will go with a 115.18. You also do notice that we're actually running new cars this season. We are running the 992 Porsches this season, as opposed to the ones that we ran in 2019 and 2020. So this season brings a whole new breed of the Porsche Cup car, and it's very, very interesting to see. As we're now looking at Nick Tander in P9, the man who's remained with BWT Lexington Racing all throughout his Porsche Super Cup career in 2019 and 2020. In 2020, 2021. I forget, he wasn't competing in PSC in 2019. That's my apologies. But yeah, he stays with the Austrian outfit. As there's Cameron Cole, the man who won the first ever Porsche Super Cup race, returns to the Porsche Super Cup in 2021. There's David Joly, who competed in Super Formula last season, 152.005. He is 4,000ths off Andrei Sazanov in 8th. There goes Misko Tsunchevich. Bit of a tongue twister of a name there, but he will go up into P3. So very, very good lap from the Montenegrin. There is Arban Lekhagvasuren from Mongolia, becoming the first ever Mongolian driver in the ACOC. We've got a slew of nationalities in the Porsche Super Cup, and you sure do love to see it, as the Liechtensteiner Nikolaus Schlöter will be going up into P4. We're now looking at Mikolas Chernik on board with the Czech man, who impressed so much in Super Formula last season, as he's going to head down to turn number 1. A bit of traffic there through the first couple of corners, and he's been forced to the outside line, which might just hold him up a bit in the first couple of corners. As he's going to head down then into turn number 4. So the track goes downhill then. This is turn 5. Slight correction. He heads through the sharp left-hander. Very, very good overtaking zone as well. And you can really carry your battles through the winding turns 6, 7, and 8 as the track goes uphill here into yet another sharp braking zone. This one's blind as well. As you see, it goes uphill, so you can't really see the corner exit then. As you head down turn 9, the track elevation really coming into play again as you head through Craig Jones and then up into Portimao, turn number 10, and then through 11. This track, one of my favorites in my opinion, just due to how undulating it is with all of its twists and turns and the elevation changes. It's like a roller coaster almost. As there, up into second is Avedis Davutian. Up into second goes the Armenian in the Allied Racing. So a good lap then from Avedis Davutian. I need to figure out the pronunciation, so if I get any of your names wrong, I do apologize. I'll get them right eventually. Either way, we're going to see Chenik as he goes across the line, and he does improve. Up into 11th goes the Czech man, as we're looking at Sergei Kazakov. The Kyrgyz man has gotten himself back up into provisional pole with a 151.731. He is 1/10 clear, just about, of Davutian in second, and then 2/10 clear of Ludwig Stefansson in third. So a very, very interesting top four we've got. Still quite close considering they're within 2/10 of each other. As we're now looking at the man in the Dynamic Motorsport, Giuseppe Stella. I think he's coming into the pit lane though. Yes, he is. Look at the man ahead of him, Søren Jakobsen from Denmark in the MRS GT Racing's just about to start his lap as he's going to go across the line on board with the Dane as he heads down into turns 1 and then turn number 2 here. So now going to head through turns 3 and 4. Currently Jakobsen sits in 22nd with a 152.242, so he'll be wanting to get an improvement on that. As they're up into provisional pole, then Damian Krastev, the man from Bulgaria, with a very, very good lap. It's a 151.549. That is almost 2/10 ahead of previous provisional pole sitter Sergei Kazakov. And it is a very, very good lap with 6.5 minutes to go, just about. We'll see if anyone will be able to top that then. It's a very interesting lap then from Damian Krastev. But I think it could definitely be at least equaled within these 6.5 minutes, as we're now looking at David Julj, the Croatian who's just about to start his lap of the Portimao circuit as a man in the Fach Autotech car. It's going to come across the line and start his flying lap. Currently sits in P11. He is the slowest of the Fach Autotech cars at the moment. So we'll see if he's going to be able to get up there with his teammates as he heads down into turn number 4 then. Julj, who enjoyed a few points finishes in Super Formula last season. He finished P20 with a best finish of 2nd at the Dubai round. So yeah, he has he's no stranger to the podium, as they're up into 2nd is Julia Miyazaki going up into P2. I believe the only female driver on the field, if I'm not mistaken. But that is Miyazaki in the Martinet, car, going up into 2nd. It's a 151.702, just edging closer to that very, very good lap from Damian Krastev, but not able to get close enough then. Here's Håkan Sorenström going up into 11th. It's a 159.922. He joins the other 10 drivers in the 151 club. But just not able to get up into P11. One thing I should mention as well. in Porsche Super Cup, now that we've got such a big field. The point system has changed, so it's gone from the regular top 10 to top 15. So we'll have more points for all the drivers, as David Jules, with a very, very good lap, goes up into second. It's a 1:51.695 from the Croatian, and he's done very, very well for himself to go up into second. Up at the P13, though, is Jose Lucas. Now, that is a name a few you might remember from Porsche Super Cup as well. He makes his return to the ACOC in the Nebulous Racing team. So he is P13. Up into second, though, goes Nikolaus Schlöter, getting himself ahead of his teammate Julie, and currently it is a FAC Autotech 2, 3, and 10. So all of the all of the cars in the top 3, and I think they will be very happy about that. Schlöter here through the first sector is 4 thousandths up on the pole time here, so if he's able to continue this pace through through sectors 2 and 3, he could be on for quite a good lap here. As yet another improvement from Håkan Sorenström, and this gets himself up into P6. Very well done then from Sorenström. Consistent improvement, but we'll see if he has what it takes to be able to challenge for the top 5, as he's got a bit of traffic on his second flying lap here. That is one of the Dynamic Motorsport cars. Not sure who it is exactly. Thinking that might be Giuseppe Stella, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, as we go back to Nikolaus Schlöter, now heading down into turns 12 and 13 into the third sector. He will go as he heads through the left-hander of turn number 13. And now through turn 14. And he's only got one corner to go. Speaking of Giuseppe Stella, he's just gone up into second with a 1:51.614. Very, very good lap from the Italian, proving that he might just be back. As Schlöter is going to try and respond to that lap. We'll see if he's going to be able to do it, as he's going to go across the line. Miyazaki up into second. Then what can Schlöter do across the line? And now he takes second. Steals it away from both Miyazaki and Stella. That is a good lap from Nikolaus Schlöter, and that's a 1:51.753. It's only a few hundredths of Damian Krastev's lap now, with 1.5 minutes to go. We'll see if anyone is going to be able to top that lap. Krastev comes into the pit lane, though. He isn't prepared to defend his pole lap, it seems like, so he's just hoping that it will stay. Looking at the man in P13, South Korean Ji-Hwan Kyon, as I'm going to interrupt myself there, up into provisional pole. It is Sebastian de Kloot from the Netherlands with a 1:51.524. I spoke to Zoon as Andrei Sazonov in the BWT Lechner racing car with a 1:51.475. Now goes up into provisional pole, ruins de Kloot's seconds of glory, and takes the P1 spot for himself. Great lap from Andrei Sazonov with under a minute to go. It's these close moments we live for in Porsche Super Cup, ladies and gentlemen. And Sazonov has just proven why Porsche Super Cup is as close as it always is. Now then, things are about to get interesting here. Sazonov on provisional pole, de Kloot going down to second or third then, as Giuseppe Stella now goes up into second, not quite able to get himself onto provisional pole here with a 1:51.517. Will there be anyone else to join the 1:51.4s, as there's Çağatay Yılmaz up into 22nd in the Iron Force Racing. Now then, as the checker flag is out, gonna have to wait to see if anyone's gonna be able to challenge it. Cameron Cole across the line. The American can't improve. He will be P20. What about Rubinho Gonzalez, the Spaniard? He's gonna come across the line. No improvement for Gonzalez. Bentley Schaefer is next across the line. Last time he was in Porsche Super Cup, he contended for the title, ultimately fell short to the man who's in Formula 2 now, Ollie Boaks, and he goes up into P8 Schaefer, so a very, very good lap. Next up, Mikolas Czernik goes across the line. Sebastian de Cloot is gonna go to provisional pole, but it's topped by none other than Ji-Hwan Kyon. What a lap from the South Korean. 151, 408, 400s clear. As I do say that, Andrei Sazonov has taken it back. I wasn't even able to react to that, but Andrei Sazonov has taken it back from Ji-Hwan Kyon. 5 cars to go. Anything can still happen here, ladies and gentlemen. We shouldn't call it prematurely here, as Nick Tander, then the Australian in the BWT Lechner Racing, is he going to be able to join his teammates Sazonov there up at the top? We're going to have to wait and see then, as he is going to go across the line, and it is going to be only P18 for Nick Tander, so he can't quite do it. Çağatay Yılmaz is next across the line. Let's see what the Turkish man can do in the Iron Force car, as he's gonna go to the finish line now. Can he improve? Yes, he can. It's up to P15 for Yılmaz, but not quite the top 10 that he would have wanted. Nikolaus Schlöter is next across the line. He will be the final man to be able to do anything here, and he cannot improve. And I think that might just be it. Yes, and on pole position for the first time this season, Andrei Sazonov will be on pole here at Portimao. And once again, Porsche Super Cup kicks it off with an exciting qualifying session, but it's time to go through the qualifying grid before lights out here at Portimao. And it is Andrei Sazonov who takes pole position here at Portimao, and accompanying him on the front row, Ji-Hwan Kyon in the Dynamic Motorsport. Very, very well done from the South Korean. And on the second row, Sebastian de Cloot, the Dutchman, starts P3 with Giuseppe Stella in fourth. Damian Krastev, who looked untouchable through qualifying, will start P5, and Mikolas Czernik will be in sixth. Nikolaus Schlöter is seventh, with Julia Miyazaki in eighth. Bentley Schaefer is 9th, with David Juli rounding out the top 10. Then it's Sergei Kazakov in 11th, with Håkan Sorenström in 12th. Miško Trnčević will be 13th, with Avedis Davutyan in 14th, and then Çağatay Yılmaz rounds out the points positions in P15. Ludwig Stefansson in the third Dynamic Motorsport car will be P16, with Rubinho Gonzalez in 17th. Marco Rosenthal is 18th, with Nicky Tander in 19th, and Jose Lucas rounding out the top 20. Arban Lekhagvasuren in the Black Falcon Team Techstar car starts P21, with Cam Cole in 22nd. Yannick Moltke in the third BWT Lechner car starts in 23rd, with Søren Jakobsen in 24. Yates Terzic is 25th, with Süleyman Saryev in 26th, and rounding off the grid is Yagan Yonada in the MRS GT Racing. Right, who is ready to go racing then for the first time this season in Porsche Super Cup, as we're going to go to 6 lights, 21 laps ahead of us here at Portimao, and we're underway here for Porsche Super Cup. It looked to be a better start for Ji-Hwan Kyon compared to Andrei Sazonov. He might just take the race lead here, heading into turn number 1 as the two are going to be wheel to wheel. Sazonov trying to defend round the outside line, heading into turn number 2. Kyon holding it up on the inside line here as we're going to head down into turn number 3. Sazonov on the outside line, already locked in wheel to wheel battling for the race lead, but Sazonov is going to get it heading up turns number 3 and 4. Kyon having to settle for second then, as it is a Dynamic Motorsport 2 and 3, but Stella's going to try to get his teammate here for second as he dives down the inside line of Ji-Hwan Kyon heading into turn number 5. He might get under Sazonov here as well. Opportunistic stuff from Giuseppe Stella. Is he going to be able to dive up into the race lead with this super move as he's going to head through turn number 7? He has the outside line heading up into Samsung turn number 8. Is he going to be able to swing it round the outside line? He gets the better exit and heading down into turn number 9. He does it. Great stuff from Giuseppe Stella, and that is a wonderful move to go from third to first in the span of only a few corners. Once again, the Italian delivers with a beautiful move as he will now take the lead of the race. Çağatay Yılmaz then fighting it away with Ludwig Stefansson for 15th here, and he gets the Dynamic Motorsport man for 15th. Lots of maddling going on in midfield here. Here's Yannick Moltke fighting Jose Lucas. No, sorry, that's Rubino Gonzalez there on the inside line there. So Moltke's going to swing it round the outside line of the experienced Spaniard. It's not a lot the young German can do. And his teammate Nick Tanner is going to retaliate and try and get the position. And he swoops through on the inside line there through the final corner. That's Tanner up at the P19 and Moltke down into 20th. So look at Marco Rosenthal and Arban Lekhagvasuren fighting for position. Lekhagvasuren will be 21st, I do think. No, 22nd as Rosenthal's going to go to the inside line here. Goes on the curb there. I think that's lost him a bit of speed. So we look a bit further up the field. There's Kazakov and Schaefer fighting. There's so much battling going on. I can hardly keep up with it at the moment. But it is what you love to see from Porsche Super Cup as Kazakov chasing down Bentley. Schaefer 2 positions down is Trncevic. He is fighting off Avedis Davityan. Davityan goes to the inside line there. Late lunge from the Armenian driver, and Çağatay Yılmaz is going to try to get past the Montenegrin here as well. There's Davityan fighting Kazakov, I think that is. So Davityan trying to make it a double overtake, much like what Giuseppe Stella did for the race lead. As Davityan swings it around the outside line of Kazakov, gets the better exit, heading down the hill, and he gets it done. Lovely stuff from the Armenian, and he will be through into P12. But it's not over yet here. Kazakov's going to try and have his revenge here on the Armenian as the two go wheel to wheel through turn 11 and into turn number 12. Kazakov not close enough, though, to try and retaliate. So Davityan will hold 12th. For the time being. There is Terzic, and I think that's Cam Cole fighting for position, but Terzic is going to try to get another position here. He's going to try to go around the outside line of Marco Rosenthal, if that is going to work. For the Bosnian, it isn't for the time being, and he's going to have to stay behind at the moment. There is Lekhagvasuren. It's going to try to get past Yannick Moltke. Moltke has been losing lots of positions here. At the start, bit of a shame for the young German, but Lekhagvasuren will try and get up into P20 as Giuseppe Stella now says the fast lap of the race. Late lunge from Lekhagvasuren. Is he going to be able to do anything here? Heading through turns 2 and 3. He has the inside line. Will he be able to make the move stick? As he gets up into turn number 4. Moltke on the inside line should be able to defend this. Lekhagvasuren be able to keep it wheel to wheel with the German. No, not quite, and he hasn't actually got the best of exits. Could Rosenthal get involved into this? No, Lekhagvasuren on the inside line there, late on the brakes, but Moltke tries to brake later here. Either way on the inside line, Lekhagvasuren gets the better exit compared to the German, and he does barge his way past Yannick Moltke for P20. And not the greatest of starts for Yannick Moltke. He is going to be down into P21. Still hard on the back of Arban Lekhagvasuren. So he might be able to do something here, and he does. Unexpected move from Yannick Moltke. Is he going to be able to pull this one off as they head down into turns 12 and 13, trying to swing around the outside line to the braking, so we'll see if he's going to be able to pull it off. Lekhagvasuren covers the inside line, then heading down into turn 14, but it's not going to give Moltke the inside line, in fact, as they head down the hill through Sagres, turn number 14, and through Galp, turn 15. Moltke might be able to pull a very, very good defensive maneuver off here as he has the inside line. Lekhagvasuren able to hold the outside just about. Is Moltke ahead just about by a car length, but Lekhagvasuren got the better exit out of turn number 15 to keep the battle going then into the next lap and into turn number 1. It's Moltke on the inside line. Great battle we're having between these two. It just never seems to end here as Moltke now will have turn number 4, the inside line, to his advantage, but he's going to have the outside through turn 5, and he's going to get the better exit compared to Arban Lekagvasuren. And here is Marco Rosenthal. He might get involved into this. Is he going to make it 3 wide? No, he's going to go on to Lekagvasuren, but the Mongolian breaks a little bit later than the Austrian, but he's still able to get him. Great stuff from Marco Rosenthal. He catches Arban Lekagvasuren by surprise and is able to get up into P21. And thus the battle for P20 comes to an end for now. Very, very interesting battle as Terzic is going to try to get Lekagvasuren here for position. Apologies for the abrupt silence of commentary. I had a matter to attend to, let's just say that. But yeah, back to the action then. Andrei Sazonov did set the fastest lap a few laps earlier, so he has actually closed down the gap to Giuseppe Stella. And there we go. He's actually said it again. Speak of the devil. And this could pose a bit of bad news for Stella, since he's gonna have Sazonov, who's gonna be out for revenge to try and get back that position. So it'll be interesting to see how that is gonna play out in the later stages of the race. Sazonov at the moment won't have to worry about defense, considering Ji-Hwan Kyon is 1.4 seconds off the Russian at the moment. So just smooth sailing for him at the moment. But we'll see if that will eventually change in the later parts of the race. Here is Trinchevich, though. He's going to try and move on the inside line of Yilmaz, as the two are going to go wheel to wheel, heading out of turn number 5 through 6 and 7. They're going to go wheel to wheel. Yilmaz on the inside and Trinchevich on the outside line. So he's going to get this done as Yilmaz breaks later into turn 8, but it's Trinchevich who has the advantage, heading out of the corner, and he is going to be through into P14. Good stuff from Miško Trinchevich, and he is now 14th. And Çağatay Yılmaz will be down to 15th. He's still going to try. He's still close to the back of the Montenegrin, so he could definitely try to have his revenge. A few laps earlier, going a bit wide in the background, that was Jose Lucas trying to follow Ludwig Stefansson. He did go a bit wide. So we'll see if Lucas is going to be able to make up that time lost. Gap is about 4 tenths, so Stefansson ahead. So we'll see if he's going to be able to do anything there. As you do see on the minimap there is quite a bit of a pack forming behind the man in PLM at the moment, Bentley Schaefer, which is quite interesting considering the gap is 4.3 seconds from Bentley Schaefer to Håkan Sorenström in 10th. So that does make you wonder a bit as Kazakov runs a bit wide. What is going on with Bentley Schaefer? Is he has the pack just naturally split apart into a faster or slower group, or is funnily enough Bentley Schaefer holding up all these guys behind for whatever reason it may be? Well, we won't know really, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens then. Being at the front of a train, I guess the locomotive, you could call yourself, is not really something you would like, considering you're basically the slowest guy and you've got a pack of faster cars behind you. So yeah, you're just gonna have to be left to your defending skill for the majority of the race. As we're now looking at the man in 5th, Sebastian de Cloot, chasing down Mikolas Chernik for 4th. It's going to be very interesting to see as the gap is about 4 tenths. Lead pack quite spread out as well. Sazanov gap is about 6 to 7 tenths to Giuseppe Stella, as Ji-Hwan Kyon is now at the fast lap of the race, so that is quite interesting. I did notice that he's actually caught Andrei Sazanov a bit, but the gap isn't going down by that much, so we'll see what Kyon is going to be able to do. Looking 15 positions down then, Yannick Moltke, who is now chasing down his teammate Nick Tander for P19, trying to regain the positions that he lost a few laps earlier, and he is going to start with his teammate Nick Tander. Not the greatest of starts for BWT Lechner, but at least they have got one man currently contending for the race lead, that obviously being Andrei Sazanov in 2nd. As we look back up into the top 10, David Jouli in 6th, then, as there is Suleiman Saryev now trying to get past Arban Lukhagvasuren, as Saryev's going to have the outside line then into turn 8. He's going to go the long way around on Lukhagvasuren, and he gets it done. Easy and simple move from Suleiman Saryev. The man from Turkmenistan will be up into P23. As we're still looking at David Jouli, who's chasing down Damian Krastev for P6. So Krastev, who's lost 1 position since the start, probably would not like to lose another. But Jouli, who I'm not sure where he started, but yeah, I feel like he has done well for himself. As Giuseppe Stella briefly held the fastest lap there, but it has been topped by Ji-Hwan Kyon, who now set yet another fastest lap. So Andrei Sazanov surprisingly not being able to keep up with Giuseppe Stella that much. But Ji-Hwan Kyon is surprisingly the fastest man in the top 3 at the moment. So yeah, I think the main objective for Kyon is just to get close enough to Sazanov to be able to pass him, and then try and focus on the main man, Giuseppe Stella. But he's going to have to do that quickly. As I said, Sazanov is losing time on Stella. So if Kyon wants a chance at actually getting Giuseppe for the race lead, he is going to have to do it quickly. And well, such is the case for all times. You've got a slower car ahead of you. One other good example is this at the moment as well. Jouli trying to get Krastev here. Kraste, who has a 2.2 second gap to Sebastian de Cloot. David Joule will be wanting to get past this man quickly if he wants a chance at fighting in the top 5. See what he is going to be able to do then in these coming few laps, as we are on lap 9 out of 21. Heading through the final corner then, is he going to be able to get the run heading into turn number 1? Gap is about 4/10. Stella set yet another fastest lap. Italian flying at the moment, proving that he has still got it in Porsche Super Cup. The team which he almost won the title for, in fact, back in 2019. He'll be wanting to try and properly charge for it this season, I'm sure. As you can see, that gap is 1.5 now to Andrei Sazonov. So Stella has really pulled away to Sazonov. So Andrei not really able to keep up with the Italian, which will leave him a bit frustrated. But it also begs the question, if Sazonov is holding back or if Stella is just pushing too much at the moment to try and build a gap. And then obviously that accounts for things like tire wear. Because for the equal amount of laps that you push, the equal amount of laps you will have to back off. So it's going to be interesting to see who is going to be able to manage this well enough. As we're now looking at the Cloot, the Dutchman in the Team GP Elite. Sorry, Uniserver Team GP Elite, as it is called, the second of the GP Elite teams. As he's now going to head through the final corner, is the Clout going to be able to get close enough to Chernik to be able to get past the Czech driver? We'll have to wait and see. Stella says yet another fastest lap. He's just going for fastest lap after fastest lap today. But we'll see for how long he's going to be able to carry that pace, though. Don't think he's going to be able to set fastest laps forever, as we have now reached the halfway point of this race. Or we've gone over it, in fact. We're going to head down into turn number 4, looking a few positions back. This is Yulia Miyazaki, the Japanese and some other nationality, I do presume, but racing under the Japanese flag. Behind Miyazaki is Nikolaus Schlöter in the Fach Autotech. That is FACH Autotech, for those who are confused. One guy thought I was saying something else, which I was not. Yeah, still a relatively close midfield pack here. In these later laps, it seems that there's a lot more individual packs now forming, as opposed to just one big snake going through the entire track. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this is gonna work, as we're now looking at Ludwig Stefansson chasing down Çağatay Yılmaz. Kazakov heads through the final corner. He's still trying to get Bentley Schaefer here, but yeah, I don't really know what is the hold-up for Kazakov at the moment, but he just isn't able to get Bentley Schaefer at the moment. And I guess it is a bit of a relief for Schaefer that he's able to hold off Kazakov, But I guess he must be feeling frustrated with his pace as well. It's 4.5 to Håkan Sorenström in 10th. As we go back to look at Sebastian Declote, he might actually have to start worrying about defense now, because Damian Krastev seems to have gotten closer to Declote. So this is going to be very, very interesting to see then, as Krastev is chasing down Declote, and he is closing that gap by quite a bit. So Krastev might politely ask Declote to move over here, and he's gonna try and have a shot at Mikolas Czernik possibly, if he is able to get past the Dutchman. We'll just have to wait and see how this will play out though. As he heads through the final corner, gap is up to a second again. So Krastev seemed to lose all that through the third sector onto Sebastian Declote, as Giuseppe Stella, yet another fastest lap, 1:51.127, and one wonders if he will be able to break into the 150s even. So he's just been setting fastest lap after fastest lap. That gap is 2 seconds now to Andrei Sazonov. And speaking of Sazonov, he seems to be coming under pressure from Ji-hwan Kyon in third. So we'll see if the South Korean will be able to slip through into second here. So we're looking at Kyon now heading up the hill and into turn number 8. Chasing down Andrei Sazonov. He's going to have to worry as well about not trying to burn your tires too much as he's trying to chase down Sazonov. So it's a bit of a tricky game to both try and catch up to the car ahead of you and not overdrive the car so as to not burn out the tires too much either. As we look 20 position down to Süleyman Sarıyev, chasing down Yates Terzic in 22nd. Made the move on Lekagvasur a few laps earlier, Süleyman Sarıyev, but he's kind of stayed there in P23 for these last few laps, just silently biding his time behind Yates Terzic. So we'll see if he's going to be able to do anything in the coming laps. As Andrei Sazonov, surprise, surprise. We talked about Giuseppe Stella being the man who would break into the 150s, but it is actually Andrei Sazonov and now Damian Krastev who's actually taken the fast lap away from Stella and Sazonov. And this is going to be interesting because this might signal the turning point between Stella and Sazonov, as this could see Andrei try and pull away a bit from Ji-hwan Kyon and close down the gap on Giuseppe Stella. And now if Giuseppe Stella, unless Giuseppe Stella decides to just completely let off the gas here in these final few laps, I don't see it realistic for Sazonov to be able to catch up to Stella, as we're going to see Tander and Gonzalez now fight for 18th here. No points awarded for this position, but it is for honor here as we head through turns 6 and 7. Tander's going to have the outside line though, heading up into turn number 8 as he goes around the outside of Rubinho. Gonzalez gets the better run, and Tander, the Australian, is ahead of Rubinho Gonzalez in 19th. So good move then from Nick Tander, and that is him through into 18th, as Gonzalez is now being pressured by Yannick Moltke. Moltke will probably try and do the same as his teammate Tander, try and get past Rubinho Gonzalez. Bit of a frustrating race for Yannick Moltke though so far, as he's gone down a few positions and he hasn't really been able to get those positions back. Looking at Sebastian Declote now. Chasing down Mikolas Černík, but he's run a bit wide through turn number 3 and 4. And that is going to be a bit frustrating for Declote, as it's going to lose him. It's lost him about 3 or 4 tenths to Mikolas Černík. It's just going to have to focus on regaining the time lost throughout the rest of the lap here, then maybe try a move on the next lap. So it's all about timing it. It's all about timing really. So we're now looking at Miško Crnčević in 14th, chasing down Avedis Davutyan for 13th. As they head down into turn 13. Tricky left-hander, easy to do mistakes around here. Now we've seen a bit of it in the past as well. As we're now looking at Ludwig Stefansson and his teammate, the man in the race lead, Giuseppe Stella, has retaken the fastest lap of the race. So what seemed like a glimmer of hope for the likes of Sazonov and maybe Ji-Hwan Kyon seems to be over, as Håkan Sorenström now says the fastest lap of the race in P10. So that is actually quite interesting, seeing what Sorenström could do in 10th. So there is Ludwig Stefansson chasing down Çağatay Yılmaz. Looking at Sergei Kazakov then, trying to chase down Bentley Schaefer still. He's been stuck behind the Brit for all these laps now and he just hasn't been able to do anything. Which is, I guess, from both parties quite frustrating, that they really haven't been able to move forward. As we're now looking at Ji-Hwan Kyon, 7 tenths. The gap between him and Andrei Sazonov, he's remained consistently close to the man in the BWT Lechner car, but he just hasn't been able to get close enough to be able to strike and get up into second. Looking at Yannick Moltke again. German trying to get the experienced Spaniard Rubinho Gonzalez. He's been in Porsche Super Cup since 2019 now, so he is arguably the man with the most Porsche Super Cup experience now. So we're looking at Sebastian Declote. Dutchman trying to get Mikolas Černík through turns 2 into turn 3, though he runs a bit wide and once again just loses him time. It's these frustrating small mistakes which lose him time on Černík in 4th. And if he just finds a way to fix those mistakes, he'll be able to get up into P4. As there is Davutyan, and he's gonna go to the inside line of Sergei Kazakov. Kazakov has been stuck behind Schaefer. Might finally it be over for him, as Davutyan's gonna be on the outside line, then heading up into turn number 8, and he should be able to get this done around the outside line. He's gonna get the power down earlier and get the better exit, and Davityan will be through into P12, and now he's gonna have his shot at trying to get past Bentley Schaefer. No, unless Sergei Kazakov could try and get the position back here, as he's gonna be on the inside line there, heading through turn 12, and now to turn 13. He's gonna have the outside line as the two are gonna go wheel to wheel just about. Not quite though, as Kazakov isn't able to defend his position. Davityan will now be through up and up into 12th. So very, very well done from Avedis Davityan. Great move from the Armenian, and he is past Sergei Kazakov. As we're now looking at Ludwig Stefansson and Çağatay Yılmaz battling it out for the final point-paying position. P15. That's going to be Stefansson on the inside line and Yilmaz on the outside. There is Simchevich and Kazakov fighting for position as well, as Stefansson has the inside line through turns 1, 2, and now 3 as well. So look at Simchevich and Kazakov side by side. Mishkov's going to have the outside line, but he isn't able to do anything here, as Kazakov's going to be able to defend. Stefansson and Yilmaz still wheel to wheel though, heading down into turn number 5. It's going to be Ludwig Stefansson around the outside line. Srnčević has a look on the inside there, as they're going to be wheel to wheel, and Srnčević is going to have the outside line here, which should be a superior line heading up into turn number 8, so he should be able to get the move done quite possibly. Through Samsung they go, and Srnčević is able to get the move done. There is Yilmaz able to get past Stefansson, but Ludwig is still very, very close to the back of the Turkish driver. He's gonna have a look on the inside line, and yes, here he goes once again on Çağatay Yılmaz. The two will go wheel to wheel. Stefansson on the outside trying to make it stick, but Yilmaz will come out on top for the time being, as we have only got 3 laps to go here at Portimao. Giuseppe Stella, yet again with the fastest lap, leads by 4.8 seconds. A truly dominant performance from the Italian. So now looking at Yannick Moltke fighting it out with Rubinho Gonzalez. He could do it like his teammate and get past Gonzalez here for P19. We'll just have to wait and see then, as we're going to head down to turn number 1. Moltke on the inside line of Gonzalez. The two are going to go wheel to wheel. Moltke gets the better run though through turn 2 on the outside line then, as he's just going to slight overlap into turn number 3. He's later on the brakes as well, Gonzalez, and I think he's going to get the better run as well on the inside line. So great defense from Rubinho Gonzalez, the experience coming into play. Moltke's not got the best of runs. Could Marco Rosenthal do something here? No, not quite. But Moltke is going to go to the inside line, then into turn number 5. He's going to get the better exit as well, heading out of the hairpin. And he's actually gotten it done, heading out of the hairpin. Good stuff from Yannick Moltke. Great retaliation from the German, and he is up into P19. There is Arban Kagvasuren and Süleyman Saryev, and Kagvasuren is actually able to get past Saryev here for P23. So good stuff there, as Nick Tander now chasing down Jose Lucas. Looking a bit further afield, Avedis Davityan, who got past Mishko Srnčević, still trying to get past Schaefer, but he just isn't able to find his way past. We'll see if he's going to be able to do it, but time is running out for the Armenian. There is only 2 laps to go. in this race here at Portimao. Srnčević will try and nick 12th then from Davityan here. We'll see if he is going to be able to do it then. Heading down to turn number 5. Breaks late, but isn't able to get close enough. I think I saw Sergei Kazakov trying a bit of a move on the Montenegrin there, but he wasn't able to do anything just quite. Kazakov will hopefully be able to at least salvage P14 from this race. Behind him, he's got his teammate Çağatay Yılmaz in 16th, or 15th, sorry. And we'll see what he is going to be able to do. As Kazakov heads through turn 13 and then 14 as we approach the final lap of the race. For one final time, Giuseppe Stella sets the fastest lap, now with a 140.6, sorry. And he is a whopping 7.7 tenths clear of Andrei Sazonov. Stella doing what he does best and taking home a very, very memorable win indeed. As we're now looking at Nick Tander chasing down Jose Lucas. Ludwig Stefansson as well in this fight, trying to get Çağatay Yılmaz for that points paying position, but I think it is going to be Stella who I think Yılmaz, is going to be the one who gets it. Here's Süleyman Sarıyev. Can he get Arban Lukagvasuren in these final few corners? I don't think so. And he's going to stay behind. As we are looking at Misko Srnčević trying to swing around the outside line of Avedis Davityan, trying to find the way to get past, but he just isn't able to. And yeah, I think Davityan might be able to hold him off unless Srnčević is going to pressure him to a mistake. But this man, on his full-time return to the ACOC, proves why it once again is one of the greatest talents to come out of the Porsche Super Cup. Giuseppe Stella will see the checkered flag first, and he will win the opening round of the season here at Portimao with an absolutely great drive. Wonderful win for Giuseppe Stella. He is back on top in Porsche Super Cup. Andrei Sazonov will come home second, and Ji Hwan-kyon with the podium. Great way to start the season for the Korean, and Andrei Sazonov as well. Bentley Schaefer will hold P11, and Çağatay Yılmaz will just come home for P15. 1 point for the man from Turkey. And that is it then. So for your race results, Giuseppe Stella from P3 on the grid goes up into P1, takes the race win and the fastest lap. Andrei Sazonov could not quite convert into the race win. He will be P2 with Ji Hwan-kyon in third. Mikolas Černik is fourth with Sebastian Declote in fifth. Damir Krastev is sixth with David Juli in seventh. Julia Miyazaki is eighth with Nikolaus Schlöter in ninth, and Håkan Sorenström rounds out the top 10. Then finishing in 11th is Bentley Schaefer with Avedis Davityan in 12th. Misko Srnčević takes 13th with Sergei Kazakov in 14th, and Çağatay Yılmaz rounds out the points paying positions in P15. Ludwig Stefansson is 16th with Jose Lucas in 17th. Nick Tander is 18th with Yannick Moldka in 19th. Rubino Gonzalez takes P20, and P21 will go to Marco Rosenthal. Jaltas Terzic is P22 with Arvan Lukagvasuren in 23rd. Süleyman Sarıyev is 24th with Yagan Yunada in 25th, and taking the final two spots on the grid is Cameron Cole and Søren Jakobsen. And that is it for the opening round of the Porsche Super Cup season. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a very, very interesting race. Driver of the day then from me will go to Giuseppe Stella. I mean, that is the perfect way to get yourself back into the ACOC paddock with a very, very nice drive and a great victory as well. So yeah, he deserves my driver of the day. But yeah, once again, that's been it for Porsche Super Cup. We will see you on Saturday for the Formula One Portuguese Grand Prix. So the action does not end at the Autodromo Internacional do Algarve. We will have the F1 Portuguese GP on there as well. And then we're going to have the opening round of Super Formula as well on Sunday at the Fuji Speedway. So make sure to not miss that. But until then, I have been your commentator, Miran. This has been Porsche Super Cup, and we will see you when the Aces returns for Formula One